What is up, everybody? We are
Ayo.
back for episode 29, but once again, we're missing somebody, but it's different this time. Salo's here. He's with us.
I made it this time. I made it. I survived.
We're actually missing Brett this time. Brett wasn't able to make it because of work schedule conflicts. This whole weekend's kind of blocked out for him. That is the pains of schedules from the other side of the world, as well as active duty military schedules. They don't really conform to when you decide to do bullshit podcasts with your buddies. But we're gonna try and make do without him, so to speak. Real quick, we'll just go ahead and address it early, get it out of the way. So last week, Salo wasn't able to be here because of technical issues. Since then, he has updated his internet. In our pre-recording quality checks, there were minor video latency issues, but audio is coming through clearly. So for our visual listeners on the YouTube channel, you may see some latency with his video, but as long as audio is going strong, we're going to power through it. So we just wanted to give you that warning so that if it starts to happen, you don't think that you're going crazy.
Yes.
But with that being said, Salo, how have your last 4 weeks been since you weren't here last week?
It's been all right. It's just been a lot of work. It's been a slow month for me at work, so that just means I have to put in more work and find it, you know?
No, I feel that.
You know how
I feel
sales
that.
is.
No, I get it.
So
totally.
It's been rough.
Could be worse.
Yeah.
Could be worse. No, I feel that a lot of my last month has just been grinding with my streams and my channels and scheduling my charity stream and everything like that. My personal YouTube just hit 100 subscribers, so that was really cool. And I've been having a lot of videos pop off lately. A video we put up a couple days ago just hit 2,500 views.
Nice.
So the personal channel's going pretty well right now. A bit of a grind, but other than that, my timelines don't really change that much. Things don't really go differently for me very often. I'm pretty set in stone with my schedule. So.
Does that get to you, though? Because it gets to me. Like, it gets to me getting all the same stuff at the same time.
Yeah, it can be a bit tedious. It can be a bit tiresome. Sometimes you just want some change. But, I don't know. Being a streamer, I play different games every night, and I got 2 new games to play on stream, so I've been playing them and kind of keeping myself busy.
Nice. What have you been playing? What are the 2 new ones?
So I got Gotham Knights, which came out last year, but I couldn't play it because I didn't have a PS5. But now that I do, I got Gotham Knights while it was on sale, and I've been having a good time with that. And then a new game that just came out called Wild Hearts. It's kind of like the Monster Hunter games. But it takes place in like early Japan kind of thing. Like your characters are samurai or samurai adjacent type of characters. It's got a bunch of different weapons, but it's just big monster fighting. And then
that's awesome.
Parts,
I like that.
Build new weapons and new armors and stuff like that, and it's pretty cool.
Is it like RPG? Like a role-playing game where you can upgrade your armor and sword and
there's
glasses.
Different weapons. So right now, Brett's running the katana. I can't remember if Quinn stuck with the katana or if he switched to the ridiculously large sword that looks like the sword that Pyramid Head drags behind him in Silent Hill.
Or like the bleach sword.
Yeah. I'm using a bow. But different parts allow you to go down different paths. So like I have different bows for different scenarios and different things. So like I've got a water bow, a fire bow, and cool. An air bow. I still need to get a earth bow and grass bow. But
do you play it on the PC or do you play it on
I played
your
on my
PlayStation?
my PS5.
Cool.
So that one's been pretty cool, just kind of messing around with that. But between those two games and then my other regular games that I play on a regular basis anyway, I've been pretty, I don't know, busy, I guess.
Have you been watching The Last of Us?
Yeah.
How you been liking it? Yes or no?
So great.
Yay or nay?
So great.
Yeah, right?
It's
so good.
one of the best shows I've ever seen.
It's top tier. I love the story.
As an avid fan of the games, it makes me enjoy the show even more. I know a lot of people that played the games that are, for lack of a better term, bitching and complaining about the show changing things. It needs to.
It keeps you surprised. It's not going to be like, oh, I've already played the game, so this is not going to appeal to me. Well, it's the same audience.
Yeah, not only that, but it's like some things that happen in video games aren't meant to happen in movies. Like so movies and shows are supposed to last, for example, with this show, 9 episodes at an hour apiece, 9 hours. The first Last of Us game, if you speed run it, is like 10 hours. If you speed run it, you know what I mean? Like, if you do everything the game has for you, you're pushing 20, 30 plus hours, you know what I mean? Like, a lot of things in video game are filler. Riding around on horses and, scavenging and...
Or those quests that pop up that disappear eventually.
And so, like, things like that, you don't put them in shows and movies because they're not meant to be entertaining. They're meant to help you progress in a game and get stronger. You don't get stronger in a movie or a show. You either are or you aren't. Video games...
You either are or you aren't.
Yeah, like...
Yeah, I
Video
see what you
games
mean.
have to have a difficulty setting to make it feel like you're working for it. Shows don't.
Now, are you a filler type, like in the video game, so The Last of Us really inspired me to go back into the zombie genre, so I've been playing Dying Light 2. I love the story of Dying Light 2. I love it. So, do you do every quest ever?
I try
at every moment possible.
I try to.
Really?
Brett and I played Dying Light 2 as well. That one's just so buggy. But for me, for the most part, I'm a completionist. Yeah. So like on PlayStation, there's these things called trophies. They work the same way as like achievements on Steam and on Xbox. And for PlayStation, most games, unless they're very small indie kind of games, they have a platinum trophy, which is like getting every trophy in the game. And like people consider those pretty good achievements and stuff like that. I've got 31 of them. And I'm planning on
across 31 games?
Yeah, I've platinumed 31 different games.
Holy shit, man.
And that doesn't include games that I've gotten every trophy for and just didn't have a platinum trophy to get, or other games where I'm like 1 or 2 trophies away and I just got to finish the grind. Like, if I sat down for a week and said trophy hunting, that's it, nothing but trophy hunting, I think I could probably get like 6 or 7 more platinums. I'm a bit of what one would call a trophy whore. But I'm a completionist. And it gives me something to show. Like, I plan on platinuming a Gotham Knights. Like, I have files on my computer. I can go into a folder on my computer, and I have trophy lists for the main games I play.
Really? Dude, I should start doing... So you collect it beforehand while you're doing the game, you know which ones you're...
I get every trophy... Like, I get a list of every trophy in the game, and then I delete individual trophies as I get them, so that I know what I still need to get.
That's pretty cool. How'd you get your hands on a PS5?
Brett sent it to me. For my birthday.
Dang.
I guess it was probably easier to get in Japan.
Oh, well, that would make sense, right?
Yeah. But a super expensive gift, obviously. Like, just because he's in Japan doesn't make them cheaper, plus shipping.
Right.
But I think he was just tired of me playing on my PS4. Because we play a lot of games together, and the PS4 is just slower and doesn't have access to a lot of the newer games. So no, Brett sent it to me.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good present.
Yeah, that's a top tier gift. Second best gift he's ever sent me for my birthday.
What's the first? Should I even ask?
First best gift was for my 25th birthday. A cake just showed up at my house with SpongeBob and Patrick on it, saying, "Hey, you know what's better than 24? 25."
He did it.
Yeah,
he did that.
It showed up at my house in the middle of a snowstorm.
Damn, he must be the.
I felt so bad because he was deployed at the time because he was still stationed in South Carolina. He was deployed at the time, and we get a knock at the door in the middle of a snowstorm, like the roads are iced over and shit. And the delivery was from a part of Maryland that's like not a joke, like a solid hour and a half away. And he
paid money to get that there. That's funny.
Yo, the shipping on that must have been crazy. He's like, it cost more than the cake.
Dude, and the thing is, like, that the cake theme was perfect.
Oh, so great.
Everybody wants, I love it.
Yeah, because, I mean, if you don't reference SpongeBob, what's wrong with you? Come on. SpongeBob's so quotable.
What's better than 24?
25. But speaking of Maryland, I saw a crazy stat the other day. 2014 was the last time that Baltimore, not Maryland, Baltimore, just the city of Baltimore, had less than 300 reported murders in a single year.
When was it?
2014 was the last time that Baltimore, the city, just that city, not the entire state of Maryland, just Baltimore City, had less than 300 murders in a year.
That's scary,
That's
man.
terrifying.
Statistically, you just have a higher chance of getting murdered if you're in that city.
Baltimore is one of the kill capitals of the country, yeah. It's got one of the highest murder rates in the country. I don't know how people can get away with it. I think the top 5 cities for violent crimes in the country are, I don't know the order. I know that the first one catches a lot of people off guard. There's like Detroit and Baltimore and maybe LA. I know the number 1 city for the most violent crimes in a calendar year is New Orleans.
New Orleans.
Yeah, never would have thought that.
Who would have thought?
I guess with Mardi Gras, there's a lot of crazy shit going on.
What kind of crime going up in there?
I don't know. I just assumed it would be mostly moonshine and meth, but hey, what do I know?
Right. I mean, North Carolina is not too clean either.
No.
I think North Carolina is one of the, and this is just crime related, not really anything else related, but it's like we're the number 1, I think, trafficking state of the human trafficking state in the United States, which is fucking scary.
That's terrifying.
Like I see TikToks all the time on my feed, and I don't know if it's because I'm in North Carolina,
right,
or if it's because it's impending doom. It's like people getting tagged and vans pulling up beside people in parking lots and just trying to open the door, snatch them. And that shit's scary, man. Yeah, nobody would take us, but I mean, it's just like to be another human being, a female.
They'd give me back. They don't want me. I'd be annoying as fuck. Yo, can we turn the music up? Yo, can we get some better songs up in this bitch? You playing some...
Yo, motherfucker, this is how you tied me? This is how you garbage. Try again.
Look at this. Look, watch this. I'm free. Try again, motherfucker. We gonna work on your knot tying skills until you get it right.
Yeah, no, we'd be returned.
Nah,
expeditiously, we'd be returned.
Yeah, they'd be upset with me. Nah, that shit's crazy, though. Like... It's crazy that things like that go on and don't get talked about.
I know. It's especially in the United States. Like, you expect it in Mexico, like cities where bodies in the morning you wake up and there's like, at the town hall there's 3 more bodies.
3 more bodies just hanging out on the street. Go get the plow.
They have body cleaners. Like, go get Paul. It's Paul's turn again. He's on the schedule. Rotation for Monday. Dead bodies. It's insensitive, but I mean, it's real. It's real. It's like, it's true.
Yeah.
I can't imagine that here in the United States. Like, what are the police doing? Like, just chilling?
Right.
I'd be on alert.
I don't know, man. I mean, there's crazy shit all the time. Speaking of crazy shit, Amber had a question for us. She actually had 3, but we'll start with this one. How do you feel about the news about UFOs being shot down and the weird, strange lights that have been appearing lately.
So do you think this is coupled with the news of the balloon, the Chinese balloon, or is this separate? Like, because it's a coincidence, right? This stuff.
I think that there could be coinciding reports. Here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely believe in aliens. I 100% believe in aliens. I personally think it's foolish to not think that other life could exist in the whole universe, the whole thing. But I don't know. I swear I saw a UFO when I was younger. I'm so confident that I saw a UFO when I was a kid.
That's scary. Like abducted wise, or like you saw
no.
one at night?
Like my dad and I were driving on the interstate, I guess is what we would call it. It's called the Beltway in Maryland because it's a highway that literally just loops around, so it's called a Beltway.
In a circle. Mm-hmm.
And we were on the Beltway, and we saw this bright ass light up in the sky. Thought it might have been like a plane or a helicopter, and it was kind of just sitting there. And then it started like getting
like it was hovering.
Yeah, like it was just sitting still up in the sky, and then it started looking like it was getting lower and then going back up, and then all of a sudden, I'm not playing. I'll never forget this night. My dad and I both saw it. I wish he was still alive so he could tell the same story. But I promise you, all of a sudden it went from like kind of hovering and moving like you would expect a helicopter to move to bink, 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 and then just gone. And like it
did the...
Like it bounced back and forth a couple times and then took off, and in the span of 2 seconds it was completely invisible. Like you couldn't see it anymore. It was so far away.
That's spooky, man.
And
especially seeing it.
Convinced. Yeah, 100% convinced that we saw a UFO. So I definitely think UFOs are real. I don't know. I think that a lot of people do a lot of things for publicity.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way to really tell. I'm excited to see more about it. Hopefully we get more about it. Amber's other questions were, we can skim past this first one because we don't have the answer to this. It's actually for Brett mostly. When am I going to get my video game videos? Amber, you're going to have to talk to Brett. Brett is our video editor. He's just been really behind on things because he's been very busy. We have 2 of them recorded and ready. They just require editing, and then we need to find a schedule. We were supposed to do it last time, but Salo couldn't join us, and then we were hopeful to do it this time, but now Brett can't join us. We still have to record 1 more of them. But Amber, you will get your video game videos.
They're almost there.
They will be coming down the pipeline. Hopefully sooner rather than later, but I don't want to make any promises because it is contingent on Brett's schedule. And I am not going to promise anything that causes extra work for him. And then finally for Amber's questions, we got a couple from Murphy as well, but we'll finish up Amber. How would you deal with a skinwalker? So, Salo,
can I answer first? Because it's
You're familiar with a skinwalker?
Yes.
Okay, feel free.
I would immediately, and I mean expeditiously, reach out to Daniel and ask him what the fuck to do. Because there's only 2 people I know that with 100% clarity would answer my phone call and tell me exactly what to do in my situation, and that's Daniel and Brett. And only one of them is in the United States. So I would be making that phone call.
And then if I answered that phone call, I would answer with the same thing I would do in that moment. I would stab it with silver.
Okay, so yeah, I would throw a cross at it. I'd throw a rubber bullet at it. I'd throw some garlic at it.
Every suggested lore says that they're similar to lichens, werewolves, and have an inept weakness to silver. So first and foremost, I stab it with silver, and then if that doesn't work, then we start plan Bing into the the list of potential options and whatever else.
Running away.
First thing I do. Stabbing it with silver is the second thing I do. The first thing I do is try and get as many people to be looking at it at the same time.
So for those of us unversed, with the Skinwalker, because I've heard about the Skinwalker Ranch and the creatures and how creepy, and I'm sure I know they're monsters. I know vaguely of them. Mm-hmm. Are they like the interdimensional beings, or like what are they exactly? What do you think? What theories?
So Skinwalkers...
Could it be the New Jersey Devil's brother just chilling somewhere else?
Not exactly. So Skinwalkers, there's a couple different versions of them. They're mostly Native American based. Their stories are Native American, specifically Navajo, I believe. And that they are... most stories suggest that they are like witches that have become adept in the possession and or transformation into the form of an animal.
Something like that. Uh-huh.
But there are versions of the stories of Skinwalker that suggest that they could actually more or less shapeshift to look like other people as well. And kind of master mimicry of voices and stuff like that. Most forms say animal, which Skinwalkers are kind of where the modern werewolf kind of comes from, in a sense. Mm-hmm. Which is why they share that similarity of silver weakness. Mm-hmm. But there's a lot of different things and different origins to almost everything. Almost everything has different stories depending on what part of the world you live in.
It makes it seem even more real, though.
Yeah,
it's like there's always a baseline subconscious of an entity that's the same paradigm in every culture in every society. Mm-hmm. Like there's always a werewolf-like, vampire-like, or like shapeshifter type being. Like, it's spooky, man.
Yeah, it's kind of one of the reasons that I feel like dragons might have been real once upon a time, because it feels like every civilization has like stories of dragons.
Do you think like? Are you thinking bigger Komodo dragons, or are you thinking like fire-breathing dragons?
I wouldn't necessarily be surprised about fire-breathing dragons.
I could see it.
So Brett and I once talked about the logistics of how a real dragon could have existed. And realistically, there are so many creatures out there that can secrete poisons and pheromones and gases and all kinds of things. And all it would theoretically take is some type of gas sac somewhere in the throat or belly that has two different gases that mix together to cause some kind of combustion.
Yeah.
Or a single flammable gas and then the ability to cause a spark off of your own teeth. Both of which could theoretically cause fire breathing. I mean, we've seen it in simple ways of people, like taking in alcohol and then spitting it out as a fire. And
with the
right, like we've seen humans mimic and imitate fire breathing, and those fire breathing techniques come from centuries ago when the stories of dragons were so prevalent. It's very possible to me. The other thing is, so there's two things. One, the T-Rex. There are certain studies that suggest that the T-Rex might have had wings.
That's pretty cool.
And that the reason we haven't found those fossils because wings usually have hollow bones.
They degrade faster or something like that? Like they wouldn't show up.
They don't fossilize. Yeah, they don't fossilize. Which is the other thing. If there were dragons, theoretically, they were flight creatures. They would probably have hollow bones, which means they wouldn't fossilize as well. Secondly, though, if, let's say the T-Rex, let's just pretend for a second that the T-Rex was a dragon. How would we know? How would we not know? Because the problem is, let's say it was some kind of gas sac that wouldn't fossilize. That would deteriorate just like the rest of the muscle, skin, everything else. That sac inside is just another muscular system. It's a fleshy bit that would have also deteriorated over time. There would be no fossilization of it.
I could see how that's real. And, like, the interesting part about it is, like, if that's true in that explanation, like, we would be humanity would be on the cusp of when they were when extinct, I would think, because we have memories of it. We know what it looks like. Well, we didn't have any fossils, but humans remember.
People and dinosaurs did coexist for a period of time. It's possible.
People and woolly mammoths coexisted. Right. Saber-tooths, I think, as well. Mm-hmm. Like, we were right there. We were in the same, like, whatever the fuck period. Yeah, time frame. Not the meso...
I think that a lot of people need to understand that human beings have been around a lot longer than people think they have.
It's spooky. Our civilization, like modern civilization, is a little slice of humanity. Like humanity for 90% of our history, we've been uncivilized. It's just been people just chilling in the streets of the forest. It's crazy.
Right. Well, and time is one of those things that just causes stories to become more fantastical. And for a long time, the only type of storytelling we had was speech. We didn't have written languages. We didn't have tablets and things like that we were scribing things into. We just had words. We spoke. Whatever language it may have been at that time, whatever location it may have been, word of mouth was the main way of communication for all of human life. And things are bound to get passed down from generation to generation. Whether they're true or not, who knows? I mean, there are tall tales from my family. Like, stories about my great-grandfather that I hear them and I'm like, okay. Like, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, okay, whatever you say. But, like, those are how legends are made. You know what I mean? By just people passing down a story as if it's fact. And that's also how false pretenses are made. People passing down stories that are fact, but people think that's so fantastical it couldn't be real.
But I don't know, it's just... We were never, like, dumb human creatures. Like, we've always been intelligent. So there's always the possibility of, like... Our conversation reminds me of the Greek fire. You remember... Have you ever heard about that? Where it's, like, the technology lost to the Greeks. It's, like, a fire that didn't matter. They could burn ships in the middle of the water. It didn't matter. Like...
Yeah.
It fascinates me, all the stuff that we figured out and forgot.
It was napalm.
We just forgot.
It was napalm. The Greeks figured out early day napalm. A fire that could burn so hot that not even water could take it out. Like, like they discovered,
I had to Google that. I was like, napalm.
They discovered early day napalm. Like, and then it got refined and refined and refined. And people are adaptable. We always have been. But it is fascinating. Anywho, Amber, we hope we answered your questions to the best of our ability. We'll get back to you on when your videos will be ready. Murphy, let's go ahead and get to your two questions. Last weekend, I broke my nose. First time I've ever broken a bone. What were all of your first broken bones, if you've ever had one? And what about worst broken bone if you've broken more than one? So for me, my first broken bone was I broke my shin when I was like a year and a half old.
The part where your knee is that the shin?
It's the bone between the knee and the ankle.
Oof.
I snapped that in half when I was like a year and a half old.
Do you remember, or were you told?
I was told. My mom fell and landed on my leg and snapped it.
Oof.
Yeah, fell down the stairs.
Any
while
other
she was
bones?
carrying me. I've broken a lot of bones since then. That was just my first. I've broken almost every one of my knuckles. I've broken my nose like 13 times. I've broken 2 ribs. I broke my wrist. I've had a plethora of dislocations between dislocated elbows, dislocated shoulders, dislocated knees.
How does one break their nose? Like they just bop it against something?
Any type of major impact. So the thing people need to remember is technically you're not breaking anything. Your nose isn't actually a bone. It's cartilage. But it's firm. Unlike a lot of cartilage in other places like your ear, stuff like that. Like it's not malleable almost. So that cartilage is formed in a pseudobone. And any type of just abrupt impact can cause that to kind of crumble a little bit. Causes fragility.
That's spooky. I don't like the word crumble.
But like my nose has been broken so many times that now my nose, most people up here, the nose is solid.
Right,
like
right here.
Like if you push down on your nose, what happens?
It's solid.
Yeah. If I push down on my nose, it comes down.
Oh no.
Like my nose is just kind of squishy now.
Is this going to happen to Murphy's nose, or is Murphy's nose going to get harder?
If this is the first time Murphy's broken his nose, he should recover just fine.
Good.
I broke my nose. Like I said, I've broken my nose like 13 times.
Bajillion times. Okay.
Like just being kicked in the face, being punched in the face, having a ball hit me in the face during like a soccer game.
That's crazy.
I was playing.
You won't believe me.
I was playing goalie and I went to go pick up the ball and somebody tried to kick and they kicked me right in the face.
That's happened to me before. It hurts. Yeah.
Well, and people like, of course, when you're in high school, everybody's a dickhead, so they're like, "Oh, he's crying," and I'm like, "You got kicked in the fucking nose. I can't help it.
You asshole."
Like I can't help it. Like I'm not crying because it hurts. I'm crying because you can't help it when you get hit in the nose. Your eyes immediately like water. They can't help it.
It's serious. It's just an effect. See, Mom? I wasn't lying. I wasn't crying. Anyways.
But no, like, so now my nose is sensitive enough that, like, if I take any kind of, like, impact to the nose,
it hurts.
I'll just get a nosebleed instantly because it'll pop something.
Oh. You'll be surprised. I haven't had a single broken bone in my body.
Really?
So I am the king of stitches, of breaking my skin, like my knees, like having cuts, deep wounds, blood everywhere.
Right.
But I've never broken a bone.
Ironically,
but I'll cut myself with a swiftness. Like it's not
enough,
consensual.
I think I've only had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think I've only had like 11 stitches in my entire life.
Really?
I had 1 for each of my 4 wisdom teeth. I had 3 for my lip when my tooth went through my lip.
Oh
yeah, it went through.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, my canine went right through my lip right here.
Man.
And they had to take me out of school so I could get stitches.
That'll do it.
And my surgery on my ankle led to 2 stitches on each side of the ankle because they had to cut in on both sides to go in from both sides.
Uh-huh.
But I think that's it for stitches. A lot of my injuries have been able to just been set and didn't need surgery or anything. And I should have gotten more stitches when I gashed my head open. I was in a real bad accident and got a wound right here that was like yay thick and like yay deep and blood everywhere. Because the head bleeds like crazy. And I was like 2 weeks away from basic training. So I'm like, oh shit, I can't go get stitches or they won't let me go. So I just went home and my dad and I super glued my head shut.
That's hilarious.
We used.
Was that really a concern? Was the military the concern for that not going to the hospital?
If I had gone and gotten stitches, I wouldn't have been allowed to go to basic training until
crazy.
I was fully recovered.
That would have set you back.
Yeah. So my dad and I went back to my house, and my dad kind of pushed it back together, and then I held it in place, and then he put, I think it was Gorilla Glue, in the wound, and it stung like hell. And then we just squeezed my head back together, basically. We literally Humpty Dumpty'd my ass.
That's fucking crazy.
So like I got a fucking gnarly scar there because of it, because it never healed properly, obviously.
That's spooky, man.
Which is another reason I don't want to shave my head, because I don't ever want to see that scar again. It's pretty gnarly. Mm-hmm. But I probably should have gotten stitches there. There's a couple other times I probably should have gotten stitches, and I just didn't. I just glued it back together. Because I was stubborn.
What do you do when you break a bone? Do you just stop moving and call somebody for help?
Depends on the bone.
Like if I break my leg.
Depends on the bone.
Really?
There are certain bones in the leg that aren't weight bearing. So like your fibula, which is kind of like the lower part of your shin near your ankle, it's not weight bearing. If you broke that, you could still walk. It would hurt, but you could still walk. If you broke your tibia, or not your tibia, your fibia, that's the bone in your thigh. You're not going anywhere. Mm-hmm. You're not going anywhere. You're not even crawling anywhere. You're going to be in excruciating pain.
Oof.
I broke my sister's fibia by accident.
By tripping her aggressively?
No, we were going
into the
down,
ground.
We were going down slides together, and we hit the bump wrong and tumbled over one another. And she landed on the barrier between the slides, and then I landed on the leg. Snapped it in half. Yeah.
Oof.
It was like the never-ending cycle, because my mom broke my leg, and then I broke my sister's leg.
The broken leg saga.
Yeah, so now if I ever have kids, or my sister ever has kids, it's her turn to break somebody's leg.
It's been set in stone. It has to be.
It's the circle of life.
The circle of life.
But no, so first bone I ever broke, Murphy, was my shin. I broke my shin when I was a baby. Worst bone I ever broke was definitely my rib. Breaking a rib is awful because it's just hard to breathe. Yeah, I mean, I've had dislocations that sucked. Dislocating my knee was one of the most excruciating things ever. And the pain I deal with in my ankle because of the cartilage damage is some of the worst pain I've ever had in my life. I technically broke my cartilage, I suppose. But yeah, so that's for that. Your other question doesn't seem like it's really a question as much as thoughts on a scenario. I saw videos with a guy saying makeup is the most accepted lie in society. The women in the conversation then said, well, then working out to get in better shape or having a beard are lies too. Thoughts? So, makeup is technically the most accepted lie in society because people look at people with makeup and they're like, oh, they're so pretty. But they might not actually be. Makeup is the most accepted lie in society. But that doesn't mean makeup's always a bad thing. So the thing people need to understand is makeup doesn't have to be used to make you look a certain way as much as you can just use it to accentuate what you already have. But working out at the gym to get in better shape or having a beard are not the same as wearing makeup, because if I get in better shape, that is a change I made to my physical anatomy. And if I grow out my beard, that is a natural change that I am making. My beard right here, all natural, not a fake beard that I put on every day. If this was a beard that I could peel off and put on my counter before I go to bed, then it would be the same as makeup.
That'd be pretty dope.
But the difference between makeup and getting fit or growing a beard to hide your double chin for the guys that have double chins, and that's why I have a beard. The difference between us and you wearing makeup is this is natural. Makeup is not natural. Now, is makeup a problem? No. I don't give a shit if people wear makeup. Don't wear too much. You don't need to look like a fucking clown.
I think it depends on how you view it. If you view it as a way to boost your confidence, self-expression,
right.
creativity.
And like, if you're wearing crazy makeup because it's an expression, totally down for it. If you're caking yourself in makeup every day for the look,
perception,
I suggest reevaluating.
But hey, we don't wear makeup, so
no,
I'm not going to dive too much into the subject.
No, but I've been married and I've watched what caking yourself in makeup can do to you. It closes off your pores. Oof. And it makes you worse in the end.
The lights just went off in the room, ladies and gentlemen.
When you cake yourself in makeup, you seal your pores, you cause yourself to have more breakouts than you had beforehand.
Skin irritations, right?
Exactly.
Breakouts.
So you're... It's ironic.
And it's time-consuming, and it's expensive.
Not only is it time-consuming and expensive, but it's ironic. You wear the makeup... Not everybody. I'm not saying everybody wears makeup for this reason. But for the people that do, the irony is you're wearing this makeup to hide your insecurities, your blemishes, your pimples, and whatever. You're doing it to hide all that. But what you're doing is actually making all that worse. That's the irony.
I never thought about that. Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying everybody does it. Some people just wear makeup because they like the way it looks. Some people just like having lipstick on, and some people like wearing blush. And some people like to just put on a nice shade of eyeshadow. And me personally, I love a good shade of eyeshadow on a beautiful woman. The right woman wears the right shade of eyeshadow. Oh my God, it's gorgeous. But there is a difference between some nice eyeshadow, some nice lipstick, little bit of blush, maybe a little bit of foundation, and holy shit, girl, you've been doing your makeup for 75 minutes. I've played 6 rounds of Overwatch and you're still doing your makeup. There's a difference. There's a difference. If I need to lie to you and tell you a different time that we need to leave by just so you can be ready in time, you need to reevaluate how much fucking makeup you're doing. Now, if you say, babe, I gotta do my makeup real quick, and it actually only takes you 5 minutes, it's real quick. Let's go, baby. Go put on your makeup. Handle your shit.
Or the blessed people who do the makeup on the road as you're driving. Blessed
champions. Fucking champions amongst human beings. Look,
the surgeons of the face. I'm telling you.
I have no qualms with people wearing makeup. I think there is such thing as too much, but it's all personal preference. But you also need to understand, most guys don't like that shit. Most guys don't like you being... I'm going to be real. No guy that I know would be happy if you laid face down in a pillow and then sat up and your face was still on the pillow.
Or like you realize you're looking at a girl and it's like, holy shit. Her entire face is a different hue compared to the entire rest of her body.
Exactly. And that's why it's like it's an accepted lie. Because realistically, so, if we're being honest, when it comes to like dating apps and stuff like that, when you get a picture of the guy, 9 times out of 10, that's the guy. When you get a picture of the girl, there's a lot of makeup, there's a lot of filters, there's a lot of retaking it so that it's at the perfect angle so that you don't get any kind of issues with the picture. But I'm going to be real. I'm not trying to date you for the perfect version of you because guess what? You're only the perfect version of you for like 8% of your life. I need to know who you are when you're rough. Real talk? There should be a rule on dating apps. No makeup. I need to know what you look like at your fucking worst. The rule should be your profile picture has to be 3 minutes after you woke up.
LOL.
That should be the rule for dating apps. Your profile picture needs to be what you look like fresh out of bed, because that's when you at your worst. You got bed hair. You got that garlic breath. That's when I need to see you. Because if I can't wake up next to you, I don't give a shit if you can put makeup on. I'm probably waking up first. I'm just saying.
And that was Societal Lies, brought to you, sponsored by Murphy.
Yeah. So
please come again.
There you go, Murphy. My thoughts. Yes, makeup is the most accepted lie in society. Yes, it is different than working out and having a beard. No, it's not a problem. As long as it's in moderation, in my opinion. But everybody's different.
Yeah. Yep. I think it's perception. So if you view it as a way to express yourself, creativity, blah, 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 that's good. If you use it to hide it, or, if you use it for societal pressure just because of that, then
reevaluate.
Go see it.
Reevaluate who you're talking to.
Yeah.
If you feel like the people you're around are going to judge you for the way you look, maybe it's time you reevaluate who you're hanging out with.
I have a story to share in that terms. Like, not really a story, just something that kind of happened. It made me feel a little sad. I was going to buy you played that new game. No, it's not a new game. It's Horrified, the game where you're like fighting against monsters, and it's like you're fighting against either a vampire or the mummy. Let me see, Horrified board.
I don't
game.
think I have. Oh, yeah, I do know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Me and Brett played it once. But I went to go pick up the game because it was on sale, and it was the American monster version.
All three of us played it.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. That was actually a really great game. I loved it. I actually picked up the second version of it, which was like, I think it's American-specific monsters, something like that. Mm-hmm. But it's the second version of the board game. It was on sale.
Okay.
I went over there to buy it at the cashier register. I was just talking to the guy, and he was like, and I was recommending him the game because it was a lot of fun. And he just goes, "Man, I've been meaning to get into board games, but every time I bring it up, my friends just kind of don't like it. So I never played any, man. I wish I could." And I look at him, and for a second, I didn't know what to say. And it's like, man, I wish I could go back there and tell him, like, man, you need better friends. Because all I told him was like, just give it some time, bro. But I was like, you could tell. It's like,
he's trying.
You might need some new buddies, man.
Yeah,
you need some new buddies.
I think that this is what's important in that scenario. People don't recognize you could have more than one friend group.
Yeah, it's okay. It's completely okay.
Some people don't like board games, and I'm not going to judge on that. Don't like them. You're not the group of people I'm going to go play board games with then. I will fuck up a board game. I love board games. I'll play board games all day. If I got the right people. But I've got different friend groups. I've got friend groups that I would never want to play a board game with.
Not the mental capacity to sit down for 10 minutes.
Not in some of my groups.
Group of friends.
Some of my groups, for different reasons. Some of them don't have the attention span. Some of them don't have the education.
That's fair. I'll be honest, that's pretty funny.
I'm gonna keep it real. I am an equal opportunity friend. I've got dumb friends and smart friends, but I'm gonna keep it real.
You don't even think about it because, like, I've been playing more games. Amanda's family loves board games, so I'm like, damn. Sometimes I feel out of depth because I'm like reading comprehension. You have to read the rules, understand the rules, and everybody's played the game at least 7 times.
Dude,
makes me feel like an idiot if I can't keep up,
bro.
But sometimes it's just you just gotta gotta go by it. It's crazy.
Yo, one day,
especially when you play against the Daniels of the world who played the game a bajillion times.
I mean, I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it a stack with you. We have probably 100 different board games in this house.
Holy shit, man, that's funny.
And
I believe you.
And we got rid of like another 100. Like,
I think I saw your entire collection of Catan. I think all the fucking expansions and shit. I was like, holy shit, man.
We got a shit ton.
That's
of
hardcore.
It's just no joke here.
Ain't no games.
Like, I love board games.
Yeah.
There's certain people I wouldn't play them with, but those people I would love to do other things with. Mm-hmm. Like, all of my friends, there are things I like to do with them, and they're all my friends. They're all solid. I won't hang out with people I don't like. I'm too blunt. I'm too honest.
I think there's just not, for me, it's not me being blunt. It's just there's no friction and there's no like starting flame. Like I don't humor people who don't like this dude's like once I read a guy and I'm just like, I'm not going to even initiate anything. Look, you know what I mean? Like I don't even want to be.
So without naming any names, one of my friend groups has a person in it that I do not like.
Oof.
Don't like them. And I've made it known to everyone in the group, so much so that when a big get-together is happening, I go, is so-and-so going to be there? They're invited. I'm not coming. They weren't invited. I'll be there.
Problem solved.
Like, there's one person off the top of my head right now in one of my friend groups that I outright want nothing to do with.
I got one or two of those people. You don't even want to associate with them. You don't even want to be around the same circle of friends.
And the thing is like, there's also the problem. People are, I don't know why this has become a thing lately, but people are too scared to hurt somebody's feelings. Like, look, I'm not saying go out of your way to be a dick. But stop being friends with somebody you don't want to be friends with anymore just because you're scared to hurt their feelings. If you don't want to be friends with them anymore, tell them. Tell them why. Maybe they'll change. Or they won't. And then you don't need to be friends with them no more. But stop just letting people be douchebags because you're scared to hurt their feelings and you're scared of confrontation. Let me find out I'm ever friends with somebody that's beating their wife. I promise you, they're going to be real upset that they knew me.
Yeah, like, no, I would be disappointed in myself.
Like, I don't understand how there are guys out there that are friends with people that beat their wives, and they're just like, "Oh, that's just Joe." What do you mean Joe?
That's just the guy that's gonna leave my house right now or get their ass beat.
What do you mean that's just Joe? Are you fucking kidding me right now? Let me find out someone in my friend. I know. There are people that will defend their friends for beating somebody. What are you doing? Yeah, there are guys out there that defend their buddies for sexual assaults.
Or like aggressive and get into fights. Oh, that's Joe. It's okay. He beats everybody up on a Friday.
If you aggressive, you aggressive. I mean, if you talk a lot of shit, whatever. I'm not going to care. If you just start randomly swinging at people at the bar, that's different. Now, if you're like that guy that's at the bar and you're like, hey, yo, you better fuck off or I'm going to beat that ass. Fuck yeah, beat his ass.
Yeah, that's cool. I was like, yeah, dude.
But if he just walks up and just starts decking people, like, all right, that's different.
I knew a guy in high school who was like, I don't even want to talk to you because I'm scared if I say the wrong word, you're just going to just go crazy over a sentence.
Right.
There's people like that.
There are people
and they have friends. But they have friends.
But there are guys out there that will defend their friends or keep their friends' secrets when their friends are beating their spouse or sexually assaulting people. Let me find out I know somebody that commits a sexual assault.
That's not a secret I can keep.
And then turn you into the cops. I'm going to beat that ass first, though.
Be like, hey, yo, there's some pool of blood over here outside my house. You can just go.
I think it's from this guy that's been doing some shady shit. If you just
it's been dripping to the trash can.
Straight to the dumpster, yeah.
I think he's still breathing over there.
I heard some like moaning sounds. I think he's okay.
Might be a zombie over there.
Could be a zombie in that dumpster. Be careful.
Zombie. Yep.
So real quick, normally I would just bounce this kind of stuff off of Brett because I know you're not a big football guy. But we'll just briefly touch on it.
I'll put on my Brett hat.
Yeah, your Brett hat. Since the last episode, the Super Bowl happened. Congratulations to the Kansas City Chiefs for defeating the Philadelphia Eagles 38-35 in the Super Bowl. Patrick Mahomes, the quarterback for the Chiefs, becomes the first person since 1999 to win the regular season and Super Bowl MVPs in the same year. Congratulations, Mr. Mahomes. And Patrick Mahomes becomes he tied Ken Stabler for second most consecutive championship appearances at 5, only behind Tom Brady at 8. So, Patrick Mahomes, congratulations on a fantastic year. Kansas City, congratulations on a fantastic year. Philadelphia, congratulations on a fantastic year. You didn't win the Super Bowl, but you put on a hell of a show to get there. Here's to next year, another fun NFL season. Now, I got that out of the way, but there is something else from the Super Bowl I did want to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Have you heard about the controversy over the Super Bowl commercial?
No, I haven't. No.
So, first, let's get the other controversy out of the way. Rihanna's halftime show was...
She's pregnant.
She is pregnant. Who cares? She was solid out there. She was killing it.
She was great.
Here's the problem. She definitely looked like she was lip syncing.
No, don't tell me that.
She
really?
100% looked like she was lip syncing, and that kind of killed it for me personally. I'm just not a fan of lip syncing. Stop doing too much and just sing your own songs. That's me personally, but she did kill it. Aside from that, there was one commercial that caused a bit of an uproar. So there was a commercial where it looked like the game was coming back on, and then it looked like somebody was on the controller changing the channel on the TV to Tubi. It was a Tubi commercial. And a lot of people thought that someone was actually changing the channel in their house. And so it led to a lot of arguments and like drunken fights. The big story is this one woman posted a story about how her significant other got so mad because he thought she was changing the channel that he started yelling at her and he put a hole in the wall and was cussing her, and she was trying to tell him she wasn't doing anything. And then when it switched back to it just showed it was a commercial, he was like, oh, all right. And then just went back to drinking. And so she left him, as she should.
Women, any hole in the wall done by a man, that's a red flag.
That's not a red flag. That's a straight up, that's just red territory. That motherfucker's waving it. Like, hey, look at me. But
I can't control myself.
It's even crazier. Here's where the story goes even crazier. So she left. She packed up a bag, went to her parents' house. Her parents told her she was overreacting. He was just a little drunk and got heated in the moment. That's not who he is.
It's starting to make sense, right? How she could end up with someone and accept these values if her parents are saying that. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Oof. Like, and now there's conversations about her potentially going back to him and everything, and that's sad. And I hope that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
But we all know that abusive relationships are hard to get out of, and I think the statistic is 7 or 8. It takes 7 or 8 times before they actually don't go back. On average.
So this was like a tracked story that came out because of the ad.
She put this whole story on Reddit.
That's crazy.
But it was, hold on, I think I have it saved on my phone. Hold on. Let's see. It is right here. I broke up with my boyfriend over the Tubi Super Bowl commercial. I, a 23-year-old female, broke up with my boyfriend, a 25-year-old male, over the reaction he had towards me over the Super Bowl. For those of you who are unaware, during the Super Bowl commercials, Tubi, a streaming app, played a prank where they made it look like someone was changing the TV over to their app. I'm sure that in many households it caused chaos and was a funny event, but not in mine. My boyfriend thought I was the one changing the channel and began screaming at me violently, calling me things that I don't even want to write down. Even as I told him it was a commercial, he ignored me and kept blowing up at me and punched a hole in our living room wall. He eventually realized what actually happened and awkwardly apologized, but I was so disgusted over his reaction to a 15-second commercial. I feel like if you can't keep your anger in check and get that violent over something so small, I don't want to be around for it. We'd been together for over a year, living together for the past 2 months, and I've known him to get angry at things sometimes, but this really took me off guard. And I can't forget how unsafe I felt around this time. In the morning, I took some of my things, and I'm now staying at my parents' house. I left him a note telling him how I felt and that I didn't think we were going to work out long term. He's been messaging and calling me repeatedly. My parents told me that I'm overreacting since he had a bit to drink and the Super Bowl gets everyone riled up, but I don't feel like I am. I don't think it's normal to be that angry. Listen to me.
It is not normal to be that
I know
angry.
you're not going to hear this, but you are absolutely right. It is not normal to be that angry. You should not go back to him, and you should get the fuck out of your parents' house and go stay with a friend who actually understands that both your now ex-boyfriend and hopefully stays ex-boyfriend and your parents are both toxic people.
That's scary, man. That you fall back on your parents and then end up saying shit like that. Like,
they
what?
tell you you're overreacting for feeling unsafe. How dare you? How
I've been living with this man. Oh my god! Especially if they know she's been living with him for 2 months only. What the fuck?
How dare you? Yeah. So
yeah, no. Fuck that.
Now I will say, Brett and I watched the Super Bowl together, and that commercial was fucking hysterical because Brett was like, "What are you doing?" Because
I'm looking at it right now. It looks fucking crazy. It looks real.
Because I was sharing my screen with him instead.
Oh, he thought you were doing it.
Yeah, because I was sharing my screen with him so that we could watch it at the same exact time instead of him having it pulled up on his and then my
in a different sync
on my end and getting out of sync. It was just since we both had the rights to watch it, we might as well just share the screen and not have to worry about it. It's not like
I like how he threw that in there.
Yeah, well, I want to make sure nobody thinks that like we're cheesing it. Like we only watch things if we both have the application to make sure that Brett has something to watch Super Bowl. I forget that one new streaming channel he tells me about. Do streaming thing. I can't remember, but he had the rights to watch it. He and I were watching it separately for the first little bit, and then we decided to just sync up. And he was seeing my screen, and he thought I was doing it, and he was like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
That's great. So I brought 3 facts.
All right, what do you got
for the Super Bowl? Specifically in honor of the Super Bowl.
Okay.
So my Super Bowl fact number 1. Super Bowl is the second highest eating day for America, behind Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So actually, Super Bowl is we eat 8 pounds of guacamole, usually on Super Bowl Sundays. That's a lot of avocados. Yeah, so that's fact number 1.
Okay.
Fact number 2, which you might know the answer to. Do you know which school produced the most Super Bowl quarterbacks?
Ooh, which school produced the most? Most Super Bowl quarterbacks specifically. Hold on, let me think.
I can give you a name if you need it.
No, don't give me a name, because if you give me a name, I might know.
You'll know. Yeah.
What school they went to. I would say it's either USC or Washington.
University of California at Berkeley is the top producing quarterbacks that start in the Super Bowl. So the most recent is Jared Goff, whatever you say, from the Rams.
Yeah.
Joe Kapp, Craig Morton, Vince Ferragamo, Aaron Rodgers.
Okay.
Daryl LaMonica, Joe Montana, Joe Theismann. I don't know any of these people. Apparently that's what it is.
Joe Montana was the quarterback in the 90s for the 49ers. Theismann's a legend. Aaron Rodgers is currently playing and is on his way to being a legend. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Last Super Bowl fact of the day, of the night, of the evening. I didn't know this, so a special coin is used for the coin toss.
Yep.
A quarter simply will not do it. Highland Mint crafts a specific unique coin to use for the toss, with a current image of Lamborghini's trophy to signify heads, and another image representing the current symbol for Super Bowl, which is tails. That's pretty cool.
So one side is the Lombardi trophy, and then the other side is the number, like the Roman numeral number for that Super Bowl.
That's a cool little gift. I'd like to, I'm sure they'd sell something like that.
Yeah, I'm sure that's a memorabilia thing somewhere.
Yeah. Those are my facts.
Okay, I like it. What else you got, Salo? You weren't here last week. I'm sure you got some stuff built up. What you got for us?
So the first things I have for you, I have some headlines. You have a very big bullshit detector, so I have some headlines. One of them is real. The other 3 are not real.
Oh, God. Oh, wait, there's 3 not reals and 1 real.
And 1 real.
Okay.
Okay, so you have to guess which headline is real.
All right.
First headline, and I can repeat this again for you.
Okay.
First headline, successful cure of HIV infection after stem cell transplantation. That's the first one. Second one is scientists find 800,000-year-old footprint in the UK. Second one.
Wait, how
NASA, 800,000-year-old footprint in the UK.
800,000?
Yep. The third one is NASA's James Webb Space Telescope successfully deploys Sunshield. That's the third one. And the very last one, world's first 3D printed steel bridge opens to cyclists in Amsterdam. And I can repeat them if you need me to.
All right. We've got the cyclist gets what kind of bridge? What now?
The world's first 3D printed steel bridge opens to
3D
cyclists
printed
in
steel bridge. Okay. A Sunshield satellite.
Mm-hmm.
An 800,000-year-old footprint.
Mm-hmm.
Or the cure to HIV and stem cell research.
Mm-hmm.
And only one of them is real.
Only one of them is real.
Oh, geez. Let's go with... All right, well, hold on. I definitely would have heard if there was an HIV cure, so I'm not going with that one.
Okay.
I know a decent amount of space. I'm going to go with not the satellite.
Uh-huh.
So that leaves us with the 800,000-year-old footprint or the 3D printed bridge. I feel like 3D printing a steel bridge is just so out there. I'm going to go with the 800,000-year-old footprint.
All right. So, built by a Dutch company named Mexted, the 40-foot bridge was revealed last month and has been dubbed as Living Laboratory in Amsterdam city center. Engineers and researchers from Imperial College in London facilitated the 3D printing of the bridge, which is now operational for pedestrians and cyclists over Amsterdam's canal.
Wow.
Yeah, crazy. They printed metal structures.
That's insane.
I've never heard of that. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Imagine just going to another planet, like once we have space travel, and just time to print a bridge. Print.
It feels like something out of a video game.
Well, you know, like, I've been reading a lot of science fiction, like sci-fi, space pirates type stuff.
Right.
And a lot of it includes, like, I've read 2 different sci-fi type books that both mention, like, fabricators or 3D printers that'll just print whatever you want. Like clothes and material. That shit's crazy, man.
Yeah, I mean, just thinking, like, it wasn't that long ago where something like that sounded so far-fetched.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're slowly getting to the point where it's like, this is legit.
Yeah, it's scary. It's scary. So I have a very quick question for you. Just a simple question, just an easy one. Probably going to ask Brett next time I see him. But what's the best dipping sauce for mozzarella sticks?
Marinara.
What's your favorite citrus-flavored soda?
Citrus-flavored. Would Sprite count?
Yeah.
Sprite.
Right. Okay. I agree with Sprite, but my favorite dipping sauce would be no dipping sauce or cheese.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
I'm not a big marinara mozzarella guy, but yeah,
I like marinara. I don't like ranch or blue cheese.
I don't like blue cheese. Blue cheese is nasty.
So, like, I wouldn't dip either of those. So I feel like if I'm going to dip it in something, I'd probably dip it. Although the idea of dipping a mozzarella stick in, like, some nacho cheese sounds so good.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so now we're going to switch back to the type of stuff we're doing. It's reversed now. Now you're going to spot the fake.
All right, so there's going to be
I'll give
one
you 3.
fake one.
Yeah, I'll give you just 3 this time, just to make it easy. So,
okay.
The first one is, the first fact is the original name of Pac-Man was Puck-Man. However, the name was changed to Pac-Man to prevent vandals from replacing the P with an F. Second one is, the iconic jumping sound effect in Super Mario's was created by the game's composer Koji Kondo using a recording of himself jumping on his bed and hitting his head on a ceiling fan.
What?
Right? And then the last one, the world record for the highest score in arcade game Donkey Kong was held by Billy Mitchell's for over 20 years. However, in 2018, his record was stripped by the Guinness World Records and Twin Galaxies due to evidence of cheating.
Okay, well, let's start with what I know. I know that Pac-Man was called Puck-Man.
You knew that?
I know that for a fact.
Puck-Man? No.
Yes. I know that Pac-Man was called Puck-Man, so I know that. I know Billy Mitchell did hold the highest score for Donkey Kong. I don't know anything about him getting stripped of it or anything. Did he get stripped of it, or... I'm going to go with that's true. So I'm going to go with Mario bouncing his head off his ceiling fan being the fake one.
You got me. Okay. I could not find any evidence of Koji Kondo recording himself jumping on his bed and hitting his head on his ceiling.
Fantastic, though. No, so I knew about Puck-Man, which is why he has the shape that he does.
Really?
Yeah, it's why he looks like a hockey puck.
Okay.
So I knew about that one, and I knew Billy Mitchell held the record just because my dad was a huge arcade game guy. My dad could play Galaga for hours off one quarter.
Really?
Not a joke. My dad said, here, and handed me his wallet and took one quarter and turned his pockets inside out to show me he didn't have any extra quarters, and had one quarter, and gave me his wallet and said, go watch your movie. And we were at a movie theater, and I went into the movie with his wallet, and I came back out, and he was still playing Galaga.
That's some skill.
Like an hour and 45 minutes later, and he was still fucking playing. Like, he was just a beast.
That sounds like a man who'd know who Billy Mitchell is.
Yeah, he told me about it, about when he broke that record in Donkey Kong and set the record and everything. I wasn't sure if he got it stripped, but I knew he had it, so it was just logical to go with that one.
I think they were upset because he was using an emulator, which I don't think is it's still emulating the real game, but...
Yeah, but sometimes emulators can be modified. Yeah, it's tough to say.
Okay.
It's tough to say. Those are fun. Okay. I like those.
Yeah. So, and this is one of my last bigger ones that I have for you here today. I wanted to share, you know the conspiracy theories, but I wanted to share some for you.
Okay.
And I want you to tell me if they have any semblance of truth in there. Even if the conspiracy is ridiculous, but you can see some semblance in it, you can either give me a yay or a nay. No semblance of reality at all whatsoever.
Are these just
first one's easy?
Based?
Yes, your opinion. I want your opinion.
Okay.
So, first one's easy. Well, I guess not. Maybe. I hope not. Flat Earth theory. The belief that Earth is flat and the evidence to the contrary. Stop reading.
No. The Earth isn't flat, and the people that think the Earth is flat are out of their fucking mind.
So you're saying there's no semblance of reality there?
No. The Flat Earth theory is based on a primitive lack of knowledge
of the world around you.
And since then, we have learned far too much for people to still think the Earth is flat. And people that think the Earth is flat are just like the people that thought that the moon was a planet.
Or that birds are not real.
Yeah, they're just surveillance drones. No.
Birds Are Not Real was started as a satirical conspiracy theory to mock people believing stupid shit. But there's now actual
people that believe it, and there's a major group of people who thought that COVID was fake as an excuse to keep people inside for 2 weeks so they could go replace all the batteries in the birds.
It's so crazy. Are you serious? They merged one conspiracy with the other.
Yes.
They supplemented their theories.
There was a conspiracy theory that COVID was fake so that there was a excuse to keep people inside for 2 weeks so that they could go out and change all the birds' batteries without getting caught. Yes.
Some people are the worst. They're the worst.
Flat Earth theory, nay. No semblance of realism.
Okay. Reptilian elite, the belief that shape-shifting reptilian-human hybrids secretly control the world's government and financial institutions, and they are responsible for many of the world's major events.
I'm gonna hit you with a 99% nay. But I'm going to leave 1% as yay, just because that's still slightly more possible than the fucking Flat Earth theory.
So it's not more so your belief in reptilian elite.
No, I don't believe it worth a fuck all. It's just, I suppose that one's still kind of possible. Like,
it's a slight to the Flat Earth lunatics.
A crazy situation, like, and they're just that good. Like, they fooled us all. Good for them. There's like no, like I don't believe it for a second, but I suppose the potential exists.
Have you seen those contemplations of YouTube videos where it's just like Bush having fucking eye problems and shit? And I'm like, yes. You leave those people alone. Their eyes hurt. They're twitching.
They're old.
There was one recently of what was that pop star woman with the short hair, either Katy Perry or a Katy Perry type celebrity, had like a eyebrow malfunction, and they're like, oh, she glitched out, and I'm like, dude, she had a moment.
Yeah,
she's dying in public. Okay, so nay for that one, nay for reptilians. Chemtrails, the belief that white trails left behind by planes in the sky are actually chemicals sprayed by the government.
No.
For sinister purposes such as mind control or weather modification.
This one gets a bigger no than Flat Earth. I was a weatherman.
This one's been going on for a while. I've been hearing about this one since I was a kid learning about aliens.
And when Brett's here next week, you ask him, because Brett will tell you as a weatherman in the military.
Oh yeah,
all we do, because that's what I was too. Keep that in mind.
That's all you do.
Weather. All we do is make fun of the idea of chemtrails.
That's funny. Okay.
No.
Hollow Earth theory, the belief that Earth is actually hollow and there's a secret civilization living inside of it.
50-50.
It could be, right? We don't know.
I don't think the Earth is hollow. But I do think there's a total possibility of there being hollow parts. So, like, there could be a massive, almost like a cave, with like an
cave
ecosystem network in a part of the world. I don't think the whole Earth is hollow. We have to have a core or we would destabilize. But I think that there's totally a possibility for hollowed out parts with solid ecosystems within them. I don't know for sure, but I think that's fairly plausible.
We talked about that spooky cave, right?
The one in China.
Like yeah, that's what I was thinking about, like some scary like dinosaur type shit where there's some dinosaurs in there.
Like that feels pseudo plausible. Not full Hollow Earth theory, but to an extent plausible. So 50-50 on that one.
Okay, and let me go back to my list here because I got distracted with spookiness of Hollow Earth. Moon landing hoax, the belief that the United States government faked the moon landing in the 1969 in order to win the space race against the Soviets.
I don't personally think that it's a hoax. But out of everything that has been said, other than Hollow Earth, it feels the most possible. Not probable.
Just in terms of like scope of reality,
but just in
shit.
The scope of reality and what could be done.
Okay.
It feels the most possible, but not probable.
Okay. That's all I had for you. I was just curious.
I like it. I love conspiracy theories. They crack me up because most of them are just fucking bonkers.
Yeah.
Like, you don't get conspiracy theories like, oh, shit, fucking Michael Jackson's still alive. Like, you don't get shit like that.
Elvis is out there.
Hey, man, maybe. I think Tupac's alive.
You think so?
Fuck yeah. You know how many songs that motherfucker put out after he died?
That's funny. I don't know.
A lot. Like two full albums.
He was up there making songs, man.
Yeah. I like conspiracy theories. They crack me up. I think they're fucking ridiculous. And 99% of them have no merit whatsoever. Like chemtrails or flat earth. Like, they have no merit. None. Like, at least with fucking Bigfoot, like, there's merit to it. Like, oh, like, we saw something, or, oh, there's evidence that
there's a big
there was
footprint
something
here.
like that. But, like, there's so much proof to say that flat earth isn't true. If the fucking earth is flat, then why can't I see China? How is there a horizon? That's called curvature.
The horizon is always at eye level, regardless of altitude. That's why, duh. Gravity doesn't exist. Objects are instead pushed down by the flat earth. Don't you know, Daniel? Earth is stationary and doesn't rotate, and the sun and moon are small in orbit above the flat earth. It's all just in your head.
So what happens if I make it to the end? I just fall off?
No, so you'll see the turtle that we're on top of. What do you think we're on top of, Daniel? Come on.
We're on a turtle now?
And there's a bit that I read about where it's like they tell you, the scientists went and told this person who believed this thing, right, that there was turtles below Earth, and the scientist goes, so what's below the turtle? And the person, and this is real too, the person goes, it's turtles all the way down. Just turtles on top of turtles on top of turtles on top of
Turtle Tower.
Just turtles all the way down.
Unlike the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles where they've got turtle power. It's just a bunch of turtles stacked on top of each other. Turtle Tower.
That's the power. Turtle Tower.
Fucking stupid. So I saw one that said that that the flat Earth, it has a barrier of like an ice wall.
Ice? That's what I heard, yeah.
And that there's more on the other side of the ice that we just don't know about. And I'm like, if we don't know about it, then how do you know there's more? What do you mean? You fucking
who knows?
Psychopaths. Like, none of it makes sense. So, does that mean the sun's revolving around us?
Yeah, and airplanes and ships are just adjusting their routes to maintain the illusion of a spherical Earth.
Why?
Because the Bible supports the idea of flat Earth. These are all ideas, they say. It's crazy.
No, but why would planes and ships be faking it?
Because government wants to control and manipulate the population, Daniel.
Every government?
Every single one.
We can't agree with Russia on anything.
Except for the Beyond Us government, which would never do that to you. Thank you for tuning in.
No, we would never lie to you and make you think something that that's not true is true, which is why we would like to make the official public service announcement that the Earth is fucking round, you dipshits.
Turtles all the way down.
Turtle Tower. I'm making a fucking Turtle Tower t-shirt. Fuck it.
Turtle Tower. I'd be your first customer. Turtle Tower.
I don't know how I'm gonna do it. I don't know what I'm gonna do. That might be our first
Turtle
our
Tower.
first Beyond Us, not just the logo t-shirt.
Turtle Tower.
It's just the three of us as little stick figures standing on the back of a turtle, stacked on other turtles, all the way down the t-shirt. And on the back, it just says Turtle Tower. I might make this t-shirt.
We'll make it. I love it.
You guys let us know. Or listen,
let us know.
We make this t-shirt. Who wants one? Who just wants the goofiest fucking t-shirt ever of just stick figure Brett, stick figure Salo, and I don't know, cylinder figure, because I'm so damn fat, cylinder figure Daniel, standing on top of a fucking turtle, just stacked like fucking Jenga down the fucking shirt.
Woo!
And then on the back, in like comic book letters, Turtle Tower.
Turtle Tower.
I might make this.
That sounds like a good shirt.
I might make this fucking t-shirt. It would just be so ridiculous. You guys let us know. You let us know if you'd like to see a t-shirt like that. If we get enough people interested, I might not have a choice.
We'll do it.
Shit, if we get anybody interested, I might not have a choice.
If there's one person, including and not limited to Brett or me or Daniel.
Oh, I'm definitely interested. This shirt just sounds stupid enough for me to wear. And then I can make one for my personal channel, another like a alternate Turtle Tower.
So, a special edition one you can only get at your channel.
Oh, dude. All the turtles have little plague masks on them.
Little pit masks. That'd be great.
Oh, man. Let me see. Do I have anything else? Because we're almost done, but we still got a little bit of time. You know the band Falling in Reverse?
Yeah.
They put out a new track.
Little kid once.
They put out a new track called Watch the World Burn. I highly recommend everybody go listen to it. So good.
Really?
I actually reacted to it on my personal YouTube channel. I did a live reaction to it. It's really good. Really, really good.
That's pretty cool. I'm gonna check it out. I love the tempo of their songs is great to run to. I
agree. I think that something about Rodney Radke's voice is just amazing. The fact that he can go from screamo to rock to like a emo punk to rapping. He's just one of the most versatile singers I've ever heard. And it's genuinely impressive. So I do a thing every year on Spotify, because I use Spotify to listen to music, where I pick my top 5 favorite songs of the year and put them in a playlist. And so Watch the World Burn is already on my 2023 playlist. And I...
Already taking up a slot of the 5?
So what I do is I put 5 in as I hear them. And then if I find something that deserves to be in there more, I put that in and I kick something out. So like now, it's got one song from 2022 because it's just so good that I had to keep it on there until I hear another song. So I've got one song from 2022 by Shinedown, and then it's got Watch the World Burn, Falling in Reverse, Hope by NF, Somewhere I Belong, a cover of a Linkin Park song by Halocene, and Psycho in My Head by Skillet. Those are what are comprising my top 5 of 2023 right now. And we'll see what else comes out that earns its way onto that list. But I don't know. I'm a music head. I love music. I think that music is the thing that could unite the world.
What do you like to listen to? Just like rap, hip hop?
I listen to almost everything. I don't listen to like blues or jazz because it's just not for me. But like rock, country, rap.
All I need is a boat. All I need is a truck to pull it.
I like country, man. I do. I mean, who can go wrong with a little bit of chicken fried?
Yeah,
cold
chicken
beer
fried.
on a
Yeah,
Friday night.
Heck yeah, man. I love it.
Pair teens the fish just right.
It took me 2 years at my job. It took 2 years at my job to have the courage to tell the boss to change the radio from country to something else. So I'm very well versed in some chicken fried.
So I don't like to listen to anything too much.
That's why I used to not
anything too much. But yeah. But no, man, I think that I like all kinds of music. For the most part. It's just whatever the vibe is in that moment.
Yeah, I mean, if the viewers want you to create a playlist for the Beyond Us so we could listen to different genres of what you're making, that's also a thought I'm going to put out there in the world, because I'd be interested in something like that. So if anybody wants him to make... Ether. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. I am a big music guy. I usually just don't get the chance to listen unless I'm running or I'm driving. But recently I've just been listening to audiobooks, so it's been kind of hard, When you're stuck with one series and you love the fucking series... It's hard to get into stuff, but when you get into stuff, you dive in.
For me, I'm an actual reader. So I've got this book that sits on my desk with me. It's called Unbreakable. Mm-hmm. It's written by a sports analyst, like an NFL insider, a well-respected insider, Jay Glazer. And it's called Unbreakable, How I Turned My Depression and Anxiety into Motivation, and You Can Too. And it's it's a motivational book talking about how he powered through anxiety and depression and used it to his advantage to succeed in today's world.
You like that? It's a good book?
Yeah, it's been a good read so far. I'm not very far in it just because a lot of my free time goes into my channel right now.
Yeah.
But every once in a while, I'll read a couple pages, find a good stopping point, and then set up for the next time. Yeah, it's not bad.
I'm added to my list. It sounds cool.
I had to get them. Yeah, I've got 2 Piplups just hanging out on my desk now. Plushie Piplup and Funko Pop Piplup.
I missed the Big Nugget.
Big Nugget's hanging out back there with my title belt.
Yeah, we missed him.
Hang on, I'll go get him. We can hang out with him for a second.
Yeah.
Come here, Big Nugget.
Big Nugget.
There's Big Nugget.
There we go. The world feels a lot better now with Big Nugget in the frame.
Big Nugget and Baby Nugget.
I love Baby Nugget too. That's funny.
Oh, I love him too. He hangs out on my microphone while I'm streaming. But no, this Funko Pop. So I got this because I set up a thing on my stream called Throne. Mm-hmm. It's like an Amazon wish list, but for streamers. Mm-hmm. And so you can set it up and pre put in your address, and then your viewers can buy the things that you add to your wish list, and it'll get sent straight to your house.
That's pretty cool, and I don't get to see your address.
And then it doesn't share my info with them, right? So, this came from one of my viewers and stuff like that. So, it's really cool. I like it. And so I set it up. I added, a bunch of different things on there so my viewers could get me stuff.
I like that, and it's a lot more personal than just money,
Yeah.
Money's great. Give them money, but it's it's cool.
No, I love money, don't get me wrong, but, you send me a gift, I'll open it on stream, and we'll find a place for it to hang out and whatnot. It's cool. So cool. I set that up because I thought it would be cool, and I've gotten a couple things off of it from for my birthday and stuff like that. So I'm excited to have it. I've been adding a couple more things here and there to it, so I'm excited for people to keep using it. But yeah. So we're just about ready to wrap up. Just another reminder for everyone, because we said we would keep people up to date on it. My charity stream for MS awareness and the National MS Society will be on Friday, March 17th. That is St. Patrick's Day. The plan as of right now is for Brett to join me and for us to get fucking blitzed on stream based on the amount of donations you guys give.
When is it?
Friday, March 17th. It's supposed to start at 6 p.m. There's going to be all kinds of things. I'm going to do Bean Boozled. I'm going to do raffles and giveaways and stuff like that. We still have to raffle off. I'll see if the camera will show them. Right there, you can see the plushie plague doctors. There's 2 of them. One of them will stay with me. The other one will be signed by me and sent off to whoever wins that raffle.
That's pretty lit.
And one of my OG Plague Doctor masks. If we hit a certain donation goal, one of the masks that I wore in the beginning of my stream before I did my face reveal, I will sign that and send it off to somebody.
Bean Boozled!
I fucking hate Bean Boozled. But I'm going to do them. But it's for a good cause. So just a reminder, March 17th, the more that gets raised, the longer the stream will last. It's originally planned to be a 6-hour stream, but it can get extended.
We'll remind you guys on the next podcast.
We'll put out a reminder on the next one. But looking at the timeline, the next one,
right.
We won't record until March 10th. There's a good chance it won't go live in time.
That's right.
Which is why I'm reminding you here. It might go live in time. Just depends on Brett's schedule for editing. But that is why I'm reminding you here, because it is 3 weeks away. And I'm just trying to spread the word as much as possible. If you can, come hang out during the stream. It'll be on my personal channel, twitch.tv/pipkiller94. Just come hang out and spread the word. The more viewers we have, the more spreading it'll get on Twitch's channel. If you can donate, great. If you're not in the financial situation to, please don't worry about that. Just spread the word. It is for a good cause.
Yeah.
I won't be keeping any of the proceeds. They will be all going to a good cause. So let's have a good time. That is going to do it for this episode, unless you've got anything else, Salo.
I am good.
Yep, I brought up all my topics. So hopefully, come next episode, when we get to episode 30, Brett, Salo, and I will all be able to be here. But who knows? Who knows what happens next time? But with all that being said, we thank you guys so much for joining us. We hope you guys had a good time with this episode. In case you've forgotten somehow during the last hour and a half, I'm Daniel. That's Salo. We are 2/3 of Beyond Us. We appreciate y'all, and we'll see you next time.
Like, subscribe, hit the bell, notification bar, the little jingling thingy with the thing and the red button, and it's turtles all the way down, man. All the way down.
Turtle Tower!